What is up, bros? Me, Josh here. In today's video, we're going over the Musashi. Now, this is currently a work in progress, a test ship, so all these stats are subject to change, and it could change before it is finally released, but this is what we have right now, so let's kind of dive into it. Now, you can say it looks very, very similar to another ship, and it should. It's a sister ship to the Yamato, which is a tier 10, but the Musashi is a tier 9, and rumor is there's some things coming around that it might replace the Iowa, since the Iowa is leaving in a couple months and won't. Who knows if it'll ever be available again? But the Musashi is rumored to be replacing the Missouri as the next ship to come that we can get with a bunch of free XP. So I assume it'll probably be around the same cost of 750,000 free XP. But the Musashi is the rumored ship that will then replace that, another tier 9 premium battleship. And I really think the Musashi, which I thought the Missouri was probably the best tier 9 battleship, I think the Musashi is now going to be the best tier 9 battleship because it's basically a tier 9 Yamato. It's what it is. You can look at it; it looks very, very similar. Now, there are some slight changes graphically to this, and one of the main things is you can see the walls are a little higher, so it is a little bit easier to citadel and a little bit higher on the alpha damage, as you can see briefly on the armor layout. Just that is a little bit higher. It's not quite as sleek, so there is some extra. Basically armor belt to hit there for the upper armor belt, so you do have to be a little bit careful when going broadside. But other than that, it's basically a Yamato. And it should be. It's a sister ship. This thing was just like the Yamato, and they're basically making it so if you've kind of noticed how they're keeping this pattern of IGN ships, a tier 7, with the Mutsu, right? It's a tier 6 Nagato A-Haul, and the Ashitaka, which is a tier 7 Amagi A-Haul, and stuff like that. They're kind of keeping this pattern. This is basically an unupgraded Yamato, so what it's mainly lacking is it's mainly lacking AA, and its AA is pretty bad, especially with how many CVs there are out there. You are going to get bombed to death, especially with this being a work in progress ship. You definitely need to get targeted a little bit more by CVs because you have by far the lowest AA rating of any tier 9 battleship. You're going to have a tough time, and that's even with the module and AFT. And even comparing it to the Izumo has a rating of over 20 more. The damage going out is so much more than the Musashi. But this is still a tier 9 Yamato. Has by far the highest health pool at 97,300, which the Yamato, 97,200. So you have more than the Yamato, actually. And let's just compare it to the Izumo. The Izumo has 78,900. You are rocking almost 20,000 more than other tier 9 ships. So you have a huge health pool to play with. One, you have insane armor. You're a Yamato. This thing can tank like no other. Basically, all the games I've been playing, I have been super focused by all the battleships, but that's been fine because I've just done the bow and tanking that the Yamato can do. And I just tank all the damage while the enemy ships kind of just murder them, and I can still hit them with Yamato law pen guns. 56% torpedo bulge, so if you are going to hit with torpedoes, you're not going to take that much damage. Main battery. Now, this is one of the main differences from the Yamato is it does have a slower reload time. If you don't run the reload module, you're gonna have a 35-second reload. So it is pretty slow. This kind of reminds me of how the Mutsu was originally, and then they ended up lowering it. I don't think they're gonna touch anything like that. If they make it too quick of a reload, this thing is just gonna be blatantly just insanely OP, which it's very, very strong right now. And you can't have the ship have kind of everything of a tier 10 ship and then just be at a lower tier. So the main differences are it's going to have slower reload. It still has incredibly slow turret traverse that you have to kind of get used to. Now you can grab a couple modules like extra marksmanship from the captain, the module to get a quicker turret rotation but a slower reload. I don't think you really want to do that. You gotta have to just deal with it. If you want to grab extra marksmanship, it's gonna help a little bit. But you basically are doing the same exact damage. Almost the same range. Yamato's 26.6 with 276 maximum dispersion. This is 265 at 275 meter dispersion. So you're gonna basically be, if you ever played the Yamato, it's gonna feel exactly the same, but you're gonna be going against LOL tier 7 ships in your matchmaking. So it is just extremely good. You have those big 460s, which will just absolutely smash. You can also run the secondary spec. I am not running it. Whenever I kind of run a test ship, I run kind of a quote-unquote AA build, but you could actually grab those secondaries and get that extra range if you do want, and just be insanely good with that if you want to run like a secondary build. It's going to be the same range. I said earlier, the AA is pretty it's there. It's not going to do anything. If a midway is going to want to come after you and drop bombs, if an enterprise is going to want to come after you and drop bombs, if anything, if a saipan wants to come after you and drop torpedoes, it's going to. You'll maybe get one or two if you're lucky, maybe one or two as they're leaving if you get lucky, and that's about it. You're not going to be in Iowa. You're not going to be in this. Your biggest weakness is going to be CVs, and that's just something you have to deal with. That's the main weakness of this ship. Maneuverability and detectability, these are basically exactly the same as the Yamato. I think the Yamato might have a little bit of a better rudder shift. Actually, it's a worse rudder shift. So you have a little bit better of a rudder shift. I know it was one or the other. So other than that, though, it's a Tier 9 Yamato. There is nothing wrong with that. And I've been enjoying playing this ship. Let's dive into some gameplay. I'll kind of show you guys how I have been playing this ship as a Tier 9 Yamato. So here we are in game with the Musashi, and as you can see, it is a little bit, it's very, very similar. So if you quickly look at it, it's going to look just like Yamato, and it really should. They're sister ships, so they're going to look almost identical. But you can see a little bit, especially at this angle, a little bit higher walls. Your top-down angle looks a little bit more symmetrical, a little bit rounder, if you will. Not quite as sexy with the sexier lines. It's just a bit blockier, almost straighter lines right there than you would see on the Yamato. But all in all, it's going to play very, very similar. It's going to look very similar. And really, if you played a lot of the Yamato, if you've played the Yamato in the past, a lot of similarities are going to be this, and there really, really should be. The only thing is, magically there's going to be more planes around you, but the Yamato wasn't really known for shooting down planes either, so you're not going to really see it that much when you are playing this ship. But at Tier 9, you have that really, really good matchmaking. And I think Tier 9 in World of Warships has really good matchmaking right now with how many people are playing the upper tiers, because so many people have upper tier ships. You're going to have the chance of going against Tier 7 ships and basically Yamato. So going against the Nagato, going against the Colorado, going against whatever, you can really have some amazing luck. And even when you get, bottom tiered, or if you get into Tier 10 games, you're not going to be missing anything. You're still going to have those massive guns. You're still going to have those secondaries. You're still going to be able to, that torpedo ball, that everything that the Yamato brings. In the Musashi, you're going to have this insanely strong battleship in better matchmaking, so you really can't complain with that. And if you do get put into a Tier 10 game, as you can see right there, there's the slow turret, so you're going to have to use your ships a little bit more to actually work in your favor and turn your ship a little bit more. Just be very, very careful, because with that view, you are going to have to kind of worry about it a little bit, and with those sidewalls, so you have to be worried about turning too much. And hopefully we can send that Minotaur. I think we got him a couple times. A little tap, a little nice 15k salvo. And one thing I've noticed playing a little bit more in clan battles with the battleship is just getting that binocular view down is I wouldn't quite say it's an art, it's an art using the binocular, but if you can get it down, it's very, very, very effective. So I do recommend training as much as you can with the binocular view and shooting things in smoke, and it just will really help. Now, of course, if you aren't locked into something like I wasn't there, the dispersion is going to be pretty mediocre, but still, training how to use those binocular views and getting used to using it, pumping in damage. I mean, that's 20k on a Minotaur. Yeah, it's a Minotaur, so it's going to be healing up everything back anyway. But that's 20k we would have done if we didn't have those, or maybe we'd have had a chance, but not too much. But right now, I'm trying to figure out how to use my ship the most effectively. There's lots of battleships. There's a Yamato. That's right there. So I can't be giving our broadside too much. I just want to be able to pump out as much damage as possible and really try to do what I can and tank as much as I can. And we're still trying to figure out where their enemy ships are. I figured that Yamato was kind of waiting for me, and as soon as he starts shooting at some other stuff, I'm able to make my turn. But boom, right there. There's the 460s. Bow in Alabama. We're dropping 4 shells right on his top. Almost 12k damage, so you can't really complain with those massive, massive, massive guns. So down goes the spotter plane, which is fine, and we'll try to help take out this Alabama so our guys can basically move on. Now, I'm not trying to kill steal or anything like that. I'm just really trying to get our team kind of focused, because when you have a ton of ships focusing on one ship, and that's what a lot of randoms will do, is they'll just focus on one ship. And so if you just help them, and whether it's super low or what, the faster you kill whatever these people are fixed on, the faster you can get those guns. I mean, I always shoot at I always have the right target selection. Target selection randoms tend to be they tend to be very, very poor. You know, everyone's focused on battleships, but there is almost that price of shooting at a battleship just to finish it, to get those guys, because you can only do so much. Just to get them to focus on other ships. You have to use a salvo for it. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's almost a psychological thing. But with the Musashi right now, I'm kind of playing pretty defensive. As you can see, our entire team's kind of chilling on top of C like a bunch of dummies. But what I'm using is I'm using that 13.5 kilometer detection to really work in my favor and really be able to get in and out of this, as well as these cruisers just being kind of perfectly broadside to me. So we're going to try to take out this nice little New Orleans. We dropped in Iowa, which isn't the worst. But as you can see, that Iowa salvo came in and we bounced everything. So boom, down goes the New Orleans. We are getting the ship back. We've killed a New Orleans and an Alabama, and we've lost an Iowa. We're probably going to lose this New Orleans pretty soon as he pushes in with a bunch of stuff. Against that, and we have to be very careful of that Yamato. We still have to be very, very careful, but I'm just gonna keep angling away, do what I can. And as you can see right here on the mini map, there's lots and lots of ships, 2 destroyers, and we're gonna see what we can do against our sister ship at that range, you know, 26 kilometer plus range without the range mod. I was hoping that with how broadside he was, maybe we would get lucky. We're already at 63,000 damage. That maybe I could tank a little bit more. And there we go, taking out one of their DDs, which is amazing. I think I bounced everything on him, and you know, it's Yamato versus Yamato basically. But maybe we didn't hit him. I thought I did. But anyways, so there we go. We're gonna potentially lose one of our Shimas, but look at all this broadside, this buffet of just health. And so I'm gonna start turning around. We just lost our Fletcher, which was hanging back, which kind of sucks. Lost him to the Minotaur, so we got a little aggressive right there. Our Neptune's trying to hang on as much as he can, and there's a nice little wargaming gift of 2 full pens for no damage. So that was kind of a bummer. But right now I'm seeing that I need to turn around. I need to tank because our guys are just getting absolutely obliterated. And luckily there's 2 broadside Iowas, which I can hopefully farm with these big 460s. And hopefully work on that Freddy as well. Maybe take out the Des Moines, do what I can. And of course, we're going to focus on the one without camo because he's going to give us a nice little broadside. And we'll hopefully kind of help him out, try to send him back to port if we can, and do what we can and as a true battleship player. So, boom, there's a nice little Citadel, nice little almost 17k, and I think we get lucky here right now. We might take these, but Torpedo Belt's going to help us out. So, as I said earlier, when we were in port, the rumor is that this is... There you go, they run out. So, the rumor is that this is going to replace the Missouri as a tier 9 premium battleship you can pick up. Now, why a tier 9 instead of a tier 10? I don't think Wargaming is ready to be giving away tier 10 premiums. I don't think the player base is really ready for people to give away tier 9 premiums. And yes, they're not giving them away. You still have to earn that free XP. You still have to do that. And, you know, somebody just going into the game can't really just get that much free XP. So there is a quote-unquote learning process in just purely playing the games to get enough free XP, but it's much easier now compared to what it was with how many flags and how much free XP people are getting from Santa crates and doubloons. And I think currently there's even a deal right now to get 35 free XP per doubloon instead of 25. But I don't really see Wargaming doing too much for tier 10 premiums. Maybe reward ships for ranked, maybe reward ships for clan battles. But I don't think they will do very, what's the right word? Very easily accessible premium tier 10s if they ever do them. I don't really think. Now we're seeing stuff like the Salem. My hunch was the Salem was going to be a ranked reward, clan battle reward, something like that. This season didn't end up being, and of course my aim's a little bad right here, and I'm trying to get a little angled in towards the Freddy, but I mean we bounced almost everything right there from the Freddy, and that's just that, you know, that's that Yamato armor basically in the ship, you know, just being able to bounce almost everything. So trying to keep a nice little angle and trying to get my team to focus this Des Moines over the Freddy. I don't care about the Freddy. If I angle right, that Freddy's gonna do almost nothing. I need these guys to kill this Des Moines. And so as you can see, instead of this broadside Des Moines that everyone could just be murdering, everybody's focusing the Freddy. So it is what it is. Not much you can really do. But I'm not worried about the Freddy. I'm worried about that dang Des Moines because we have a Shima in front of him that could die from him. We have our Neptune, which could get murdered. He just got killed. But we have a lot of ships that could really get affected by this Des Moines, so we need to hit hard, hit often on this guy, and do what we can. And as well as he's just starting to farm me. So luckily everyone switched over. I got a nice Citadel. We took him down, and on to the next one. So that's pretty nice. And we have to be a little careful with that gearing as well. Yeah, so we're starting to see stuff like the Salem for a tier 10 premium. I don't think we're going to see too many. If they do, I think it's going to be something that's going to be earned through a pretty tough, maybe it's going to be the 9th season ranked reward, or maybe it's going to be, we got the Stalingrad coming and 3 seasons of clan battles. So something like that, I could see a tier 10. I just don't see something like be purchasable with premium or with free XP, something like that, being a tier 10. I just don't see Wargaming doing something like that. But seeing a Salem, seeing a ship like that is interesting. It does give the idea that they are potentially doing it. It's going to follow the same kind of pattern of World of Tanks, and there have been stuff in World of Tanks, but it's been through, like, I guess, clan battles and that style of earning the actual ship itself. So tier 9, though, I think it's a pretty good sweet spot, and yeah, it's gonna take a while. With the Missouri leaving and the Musashi reportedly coming in, well, not reportedly, there's the rumor mill of it coming in and replacing the Missouri. I'm okay with it. The one thing I'm kind of surprised is the Missouri. I mean, compared to the Musashi, I think the Missouri is going to have a bit more credit gain, and it's not like the Musashi doesn't have gain an insane amount of credits. It's still tier 9 premium. You're going to be making a ton of cash if you ever played a tier 8 premium, a Tirpitz, a Kutuzov, or whatever. You're still making a ton of cash when it comes to this. So this is tier 9, so everything's multiplied. You're getting a little bit more of everything. So you're going to have in this game, I'm not running any kind of camos. I'm not running any kind of flags. I'm not running anything like that for credit gain. And we make a decent amount of money. So a high tier battleship with big guns, good secondaries, amazing tanking ability, making a lot of cash. You can't really go wrong there. And we're trying to juke out this last set. This gearing has been playing pretty well. So that's what I was waiting for. Hopefully we're going to post up here. There's the last set, so we see it coming from my spotter plane, which is amazing. Which is what we want to do. We're trying to spot as much stuff as we can. And although we got knocked down, that's fine. We do have an extra one with that captain skill. I'm trying to snag a little bit of damage on that guy. I don't know if we do or not. Yeah, we got 3 overpens for 8,500. So there's the second set. So we know that Gearing doesn't have any more torps, at least for about a minute or so. So we can get kind of aggressive on this guy. New Orleans is 2/3 life. Yamato's really low. I figure right now I'll just push full speed forward, get this Musashi rolling, and we can do as much damage as possible. Now I was surprised. This Gearing played really well throughout like the whole game, and all of a sudden now he just kind of threw himself away. He was capping, he was doing this, and then he wanted to get in my face as a Musashi, and Musashi close range gonna get punished. Those are big guns. Yeah, they might all overpen, but at 3 kilometers, my secondary is gonna be kicking off, my main gun's gonna be kicking off, and you're gonna end up turning away, helping me out, do some damage. Alright, we'll take a nice little 9K salvo on you, Gearing. You tried your best, and don't know if that was the right push, but my thoughts is he should have ran south a bit quicker. Yamato as well, as soon as he got into range, he gets burnt down, so I'm just going to push full speed forward, help take out this New Orleans, and we're going to take this win home in the Musashi. 3 kills so far, 141,000 damage. I seem to be having a lot of games where I just end up being the tank, and I'm okay with that. This is a great ship to tank with. I think it's one of the best at this tier to tank with, and it's probably going to be the best tier 9 battleship. Now, I love the Missouri, and I love the Iowa and stuff like that. Bringing a radar, it's going to be hard to replace. So very situationally, especially being an anti-destroyer, having that radar, that's insane. But just battleship for battleship, the Missouri doesn't really stand a chance against this. It just doesn't. Those guns, they're called law pens for a reason, and so down he goes. Great 150k with this ship, and as you can see right there, there's the credit earning. The credit earning is great on this ship, and just an overall just fun ship. So if you played the Yamato, you're going to enjoy this ship. Now, will they change anything on this? I don't know. It has the biggest health pool, it has the biggest guns, it arguably tanks the best. It's a really, really good ship at tier 9 in tier 9 matchmaking. So we'll see how it goes. Right now, though, if you've played the Yami, you're going to love this ship. A lot of people are asking me, should I buy the Missouri or should I wait for the Musashi? Should I blah, 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 blah. My hunch is that this is going to replace the Missouri as the tier 9 ship that's purchasable. Now, you had about a year to get the Missouri with that much free XP, but who knows if they'll ever bring the Missouri back. They might never bring the Missouri back. Maybe they'll rotate these in and out for year on, year off. Who knows? But there's no certainty that the Missouri is going to come back, and there's no, I guess, official, I don't think there's an official response yet, as of the 26th, that they are putting this in as that ship. It's just a good hunch that a lot of us CCs have. But one, I would get the for sure thing. The Missouri's great. It's making a great amount of credits. It's a fun ship to play. It's the only battleship at that tier that has radar. It's a really fun ship to play. I think it's one of the best at tier 9s, and it's a blast. Shoot down planes, have an awesome time. So get the for sure thing if you have the chance. You're gonna have a long time to get the Musashi if it does replace it. So take your time, get some more free XP. So if you're going between the two, we for sure know that the Missouri is leaving in about a month and a half, 2 months. We are not 100% sure if the Musashi is coming in. That's just my guess. So get the Missouri. It's amazing. But the Musashi is going to be a blast, especially if you're a Yamato lover. You love that ship. You're going to play a ton of that ship. Then yeah, sure. I mean, maybe save up for it if you really want it. But that is it for me, guys. Remember, guys, this is work in progress, subject to change. All of this ship will change. Do I think it will change? It'll be interesting. You know, we're starting to hear some people that don't like it, some people that like it, some people think it's too strong, some people think it's not strong enough. I guess we'll just kind of wait and see. It's a good ship. It's Yamato at tier 9. I know I've said that. People in the comments are going to say, "Oh my God, all this guy says is this is the Yamato." Well, it is the Yamato. So that's all I got. That's all I got to say about that. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Nice review, work in progress, first impression, whatever you want to call this. Remember, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.